People ask me, I ran for president 4 years ago, and why someone like me who, in the world of politics, I'd have been the last person to actually think about running for president because I'd lost my last race. Nobody loses their last race and turn around, oh, I think I'll run for president. But I did, and this little girl was part of the reason, is that, I saw a world that, with a new healthcare system that was government orchestrated, run, and budgeted, would not treat over time, not immediately. I knew this was not being an overnight type of deal. But over time, government-run healthcare systems look more at budgeting resources for what people can do and utilize, have optimization of dollars to help people who have lived more useful lives. And when you get involved in the world of the disabled, which we do, and particularly this particular disability, you learn about people all over the world, and we heard horror stories of the denial of care because they didn't see these children as being able to do anything. They're not useful. It's not a good expenditure of dollars. And so it's one of the reasons that I decided, Karen decided, we all decided that we need to go out and fight this battle. Ended up running into a presidential race. And that's how people got to know Bella, because it was during the presidential race, after I'd won the state of Iowa, that Bella got sick. And I suspended the campaign and took a few days off. Just a quick little story we talk about in the book. When we went into the hospital, Bella's heart rate was up near 200. She couldn't breathe. We were literally, she was hanging on to life. And they brought her in, stabilized her, gave her support, breathing support, took a picture of her lungs, and her lungs were completely full of fluid. They diagnosed her with pneumonia. She had had pneumonia a couple years before and was in the hospital for almost a month and a half and on a ventilator for 5 weeks. And so we were facing the realistic chance of saying, well, our daughter's either going to die or going to be in very serious condition for a period of time, and debating what do we continue the campaign? What do we do? We just didn't know. We had never crossed that Rubicon. But we sent out a notice to people that we were suspending the campaign, and we asked people to pray for her. And as Karen and I sat in that hospital room for 24 hours, praying and crying and searching for what God had planned for us, I felt those prayers, and I saw them. I saw them have an impact on this little girl. This little girl has chronic lung disease. She has narrow passageways. She can't walk, she can't talk. She has very low muscle tone. She doesn't have very productive coughs. When a little girl like that gets pneumonia, it's not a good scenario. But we sat there at 24 hours and prayed over her, and as many around the world did, the next morning they took a chest X-ray and her lungs were perfectly clear.